This video pulls back the curtain on one of the most powerful yet underused product marketing strategies that you'll ever see. Think about it. Could a simple metaphor be the most overlooked product marketing strategy for turning your digital marketing offer into a blockbuster? Absolutely. I mean, consider this. Carey Smith changed the name of his products, and suddenly he was able to sell his company for $500 million. John Gray changed the title of his book, and suddenly his sales skyrocketed to more than 50 million books sold. 50 million! And yes, what they applied is definitely something you could easily do yourself. That could turn your own product into a real blockbuster. Here, let me show you how. Are you ready? Now, by the way, I'm James I. Bond, one of America's leading behavioral management specialists, having helped some of the most famous people in the world, including billionaire Warren Buffett, billionaire Saul Price, who's founder of Price Club and Costco, and more. And what I'm about to share with you, I think you'll find incredibly valuable. Let's start with this. Did you know that Jack Canfield sold more than 500 million Chicken Soup for the Soul books? 500 million. He told me the title he was originally working with was something like 101 motivational stories that will change your life. But it bothered him. He knew that science has demonstrated that most people buy for emotional reasons, yet this was a logical title. After about a week of sleepless nights, he awoke with an idea. Chicken soup makes you feel better when you feel sick. This book makes you feel better when you feel emotionally sick. Why not call the book Chicken Soup for the Spirit? That name didn't exactly work yet, but it was close. After about a weekend of sleepless nights, he was telling me he got the idea. Soup, S-O-U-P, soul, S-O-U-L. That kind of works. Chicken soup for the soul. That definitely works better than chicken soup for the spirit. And the rest, as they say, is history. John Gray told me how he wrote a fabulous book called Men, Women, and Relationships. People found it incredibly valuable, but almost no one was buying it. When he changed the title to Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and added simple references to that title in each chapter, but basically kept the same book, suddenly sales exploded to more than 50 million books sold, as I mentioned before. All because he simply changed the title? Wow. When Dietrich Mateschitz founded Red Bull in the mid 1980s, even he was floored by it becoming such a massive blockbuster. Products and companies with the names Red Bull, Apple Computer, Ivory Soap, the Lawnmower Electric Razor, Gorilla Glue, Rocky Road Ice Cream, MailChimp, and more all became blockbusters with the help of metaphors in their names. So, what exactly is a metaphor? Why does it help boost sales so much? And how can you create a metaphor that has the opportunity to turn your own product into a blockbuster like it has for so many others? Well, a metaphor refers to one thing by mentioning another. Basically, it connects the features of something people already know to whatever you're offering. For example, if I'm launching an unexpectedly soft and gentle white colored soap, I could ask myself, what else is white and gentle? How about a dove? Wow, let's call it Dove Soap. See how that works? If I'm selling a book that shows how different men and women can be, I could say, men and women are so different, it's almost like we're from a different planet sometimes. What planet are men from? How about Mars? And women? Well, women are definitely from Venus, the god of love. See how that works? Now, why do metaphors so often work in making it easier to sell your products? Well, first, in psychology, Hebb's law says that neurons that fire together wire together, the brain's neurons. So if I tell you something and it relates to what I'm selling, that metaphor will stick to your product, activating many different parts of the brain at the same time. Also, and perhaps more importantly, a metaphor is an emotional trigger connecting your product to something people already know. If you connect whatever you're selling to something people already love, that will usually start them loving whatever you're selling because the two are now glued together mentally. In marketing, if your prospects know, like, and trust you or whatever you're selling, getting them to buy it can be easier than most people realize. Here's another example. US President Ronald Reagan wanted to promote the missile defense system to help protect America. But it was right after the Vietnam War, and millions of Americans were opposed to anything having to do with war and missiles. But the movie Star Wars had recently launched, and just about everyone was in love with that movie. So he anchored that to what he was trying to promote by calling it the Star Wars Missile Defense System. And just about everyone suddenly was in love with what he was presenting. So connecting whatever you're selling to something people already know does two things. It makes it easier to understand what exactly you're offering. And if you're connecting whatever you're selling to something people already love, it becomes more likely that they will also love whatever you're offering. Now, here's how you can create metaphors that help turn your product into a blockbuster. First, complete the phrase, "It's just like," and start by coming up with the craziest ideas you can think of. That'll really get your mind going, okay? I mean, my Brain Glue book makes your products grab attention, just like a naked man running through your backyard. Whoa, look at that. A naked man running through your backyard. Would that grab your attention? That's how my book works, okay? I'm just talking about that. Or it grabs your attention like flames coming out of your neighbor's window. His house is on fire. Is my house going to burn? Paul Tran was launching an electric razor to shave man's private areas. I don't want to get too much into that, but just if you can imagine this. Now, he wanted a name for his product that let people know what it does, but without offending anyone. It's just like a lawnmower. Why not call it the lawnmower? In fact, he called his company Manscaped to landscape a man with a lawnmower. And his sales skyrocketed by completing the phrase "is just like" and having fun completing that sentence. Now, how about your own product? Complete the phrase "is just like" and let me know what you came up with in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. By the way, metaphors is just one of 14 brain triggers in my award-winning book, Brain Glue, that I think you'll find incredibly valuable. You can check it out at yesbrainglue.com. And if you like this video, click like, share, and subscribe, and you'll get access to more of the videos that I'm creating to help you boost the income beyond what you ever expected. Enjoy.